Now, I've known Keeley a long, long time. She's been a client of mine. She's been on a number of retreats, and she's got a very, very important story that I think the world needs to know.
My family admitted me to the Priory. They really didn't know what else to do. And unfortunately, that was not a good experience for me. And, they were looking for, could it be bipolar? Could it be, is it depression? It was a high state of anxiety. But the underlying issue was sleep deprivation. The whole thing was born out of sleep deprivation. Fast forward to 2 years ago, and I was actually sectioned.
The trouble is that once you are actually hooked on sleep medication, it makes the whole thing 10 times harder. And it has to be a very, very slow process of weaning yourself off. But because you've had so many years on sleep medication and on antidepressants and other drugs or whatever else you've taken, it does bugger up your system, messes up your system. So, it needs a long time of step by step. But the trouble is that you trying to keep yourself in balance, but the medical world or industry is not really helping you because they're just keeping on giving you the stuff. Then no one's saying anything. They've seen the melatonin test, and in the UK, oh, it's such a big deal. Oh God, melatonin. You can't prescribe melatonin unless you're over 50. I mean, what's that all about? Process. If only the medical industry would work with people like me. Because I have a great respect for the medical industry. Of course, they are incredible. They save lives. It's amazing.
Absolutely.
But things like this, they have very, very little training. I think it's about 4 hours or something on sleep. Some doctors, elect to do more. In fact,
my doctor confirms that. Confirmed that.
Yeah.
That is the reality. Yeah. And they are driven by but even the psychiatrist in the hospital, on the day I said, "Are you trained in sleep?" And he said, "No, I'm not a sleep specialist." So
this isn't necessarily a sales pitch for a retreat, but I just want to prove a point that actually, if you actually slow down, take stock, and we start doing a process, that you do come out the other side. So
a few months before, so what happened? I was trying to wean myself off, and actually, I felt, quite good, but I was a bit hyper, I guess, because I had all these things going on, and I was so excited about coming on the retreat. My family actually didn't agree. They didn't think that I was in the right place at all, because I was having angry bursts with my partner because of all the stress we were under. And he actually said to my family, "She doesn't go on this retreat. I know how different she comes back when she's been with an Andy, and she has to go." And the minute I got on the journey to come out to Italy for the retreat, I just knew that was my salvation. And 5 days later, I returned like a completely different person. And my mum, at the event you spoke at, actually took the mic impromptu. You or I didn't know she was going to do that. No. To actually thank you and to tell the people I came back a changed woman. What is the priority for me in my life is that I get a good night's sleep.
Yes.
Because that's the only way I'm going to stay healthy and well and sane.
Thank you,
and I can actually tell my story.
Because sleep is a priority. I think that to live, obviously, you've got to breathe. You've got to drink water. Sleep is the next one, and food is the next one. And I go to myself, there's so many health food shops, there's yoga studios, there's nutritionists, there's God knows what available to us, but we're still ill. It's because we don't know how to look after ourselves, and we don't understand what we personally need. And the thing is with sleep is that you have to stick to things, and you have to have rhythms and rituals, and you have to do things in a certain order. So when you come on the retreat, obviously we're calming the nervous system down, and it gives you a head start because you have to do that first. And I think my whole point is, and thanks so much for sharing your story, is that, people out there, there's many people out there like you, because I see them. And, I just want people to know that they're not alone and they're not going crazy. And the medical industry is just unprepared for sleep issues. And what happens is, you know, in and out within 10 minutes. And before you know where you are, you've got sleeping medication. And then the next thing is usually antidepressants. Most people who are on sleep medication are usually on antidepressants. And that's it. And you're supposed to stay on that for the rest of your life. And that's what makes me so mad. For a short-term thing, possibly at the very, you know, possibly, if you've had a huge trauma or you've got some sort of other weird disorder, not saying never, but not leaving people on them for years and years and years and years. I know that you can manage a sleep issue, you know, if you're patient and over time following a process, you can do it. You have to be dedicated to your well-being. You go to the gym, you eat health food, sleep has to be a priority. And I think now, you know, you just said it, you know, for you, sleep is a priority because you know that you do not function. No one functions very well. I don't function very well. If I don't sleep very well, I can't be bothered the next day. I don't feel good. I go down a hole and I see things through a completely different lens. I think the key message is really don't feel alone. Number one, you know, don't allow yourself to be just left on medication for years and years and years. Absolutely not, because not necessarily. The longer you're on it, the worse it gets. Key message: 1, you're not alone. 2, don't allow yourself to just be left on medication, you know, unsort of checked for years. Just don't keep getting that prescription. Take action and ask, you know, is there anything else I could do? Ask yourself that. You can ask me, but don't just stay on medication.